位置立刻拉开，加上一个车送一个小五进去想杀，推回一个熊熊还有大招，这波反而大了1排3，3个人都在杨林升级里面，杨林升级补了血，众人平等，但是维鲁斯一个穿之间1穿3啊，这波游戏结束了 ，GG。夕阳开启时间量士官蓝甲在想办法力挽狂澜，但是他根本扛不住。 那个风落，莫甘娜也来了，一发 QQ 到了一个瑞兹，这个位置了 ，K 的闪现大招还可以牵到2个人，牛头大招是先开了，所以后续还是吃到了一定的禁锢效果。这边还想要杀，开启大招的一个小五赶紧交出一个闪现，还有一口治疗上去，一技能短了一点，飞星被躲掉，但是靠着他的剑法巧手的一个法球疯狂在输出，隔墙莫甘娜再一个 Q 技能，小五走不掉。
这一波是一套打完，现在已经打完没技能了，可以溜了。
被东壁一技能躲的话，基本上就打不过了。
然后刚好是被动也在，第2段大招
装备最好是有3件套路才可以是最好的。但是
这边打
下半局
果然被杀了，
不讲道理了。
而且这边会有想法，
有想法，这波直接
这波有机会的，有机会。哦呦，漂亮，做了1段位移，2段位移，这边要秀了，赶紧走，
踢走，
踢到呀！
春风吹到了呀！
这波被，哦，还要秀，还要是没死，吹一下，
逼掉闪，这一波就打得太漂亮了。
这个压缩。好，但你先后排得蒙多先卖一波，汉克如果第一时间上的话，
过去直接 A 了一波，这个时候想下，哎，这一波
金角，
金角差一点被
直接打出来了，胜给大招，这边要反打了，肉的这边可能被，哎，汉克也倒了，这波兄弟大招射的还不错，
现在 A 站
前面金角的血量回起来了，金角的血量回起来了。 狼系在前面顶着，金角这波打得不错，血量已经吸满了，你敢信？再呼了一个 Q 的，吃到2个人。不过狼系也随时倒下，安哲这边有机会收割的，Zena 被留下，但是金角的侧翼
这一波你没办法，要被追着打了。
金角这波打太好了，左边，哎，这边想修金角没有机会。
这一项赢下来京东的话，我们是确定东部的第1嘛，所以其实对常规赛还是没有什么特别的感觉，因为我们春季赛也打的，也跟这个赛季差不多的好，然后成绩也跟现在差不多嘛，所以我们并不在意这个常规赛那个表现，我们一定要这个表现那个弄到是在季后赛的上面，然后就是很好的状态去发挥所有的比赛就可以了。
Well, you heard it from Rookie right there. We're going into our second setup today. It's going to be Invictus Gaming taking on JDG, our match of the week. And Rookie said it best. They had the exact same experience during Spring Split. Summer Split is the same. They've only dropped 1 game so far. Similar performance. They're going to be looking towards playoffs. And if they can beat JD, they're decisively first in their conference.
And when you think about it holistically, right, losing in spring is a blessing in disguise for Invictus Gaming. Because of course they wanted to go to MSI. Of course they wanted to do all of these amazing things and go internationally. But they tasted defeat locally to come into Summer Split for Worlds and shore up all of those weaknesses. The fact that they're not going to just rest on the laurels, they're not going to get exposed in the playoffs because they think they're the best. That confidence that is there will only be for the playoffs. And they come in their best form for the playoffs because Spring shook them and they're ready to go in summer.
Yeah, they definitely were shooketh rusty after Spring Split. It didn't look too good for Invictus Gaming, dropping to RNG before going to the 3rd and 4th place match, where they also lost to Rogue Warriors. They just quite didn't look the same. Without the Shine, the top lane. But when we look at these 2 teams, you're always going to be looking towards the mid lane to start, because Rookie is the star of the show right now when it comes to Invictus Gaming. He is the best mid laner in the LPL, and it's not like he's up against a terrible opponent. He's up against Yagao, who is a great mid laner in his own right.
And to be clear, I actually think that Rookie's the best mid laner in the world, not just in the LPL. I actually just think that he is currently that good. He will put his team on his back and his team is full of superstars. So that says a lot about how he is currently performing. And when you look at the stats of him right now, his KDA is second, his kill participation is second, but he's only bested by people in those roles that are in off roles. So if for kill participation, he's beaten by Maestro, who is a support main, who plays with Snake and only does funnels. So of course he's got high kill participation. And that's the only person that's beating Rookie. And for KDA, it's Zatai, who plays Darius in the mid lane and beats people down in that role. So Rookie, respectively, is, as far as I'm concerned, #1 in every position, besides that damage percentage.
These are also players who have only played, what, a handful of games in the mid lane as well. Rookie's been playing the entire split for Invictus Gaming.
Exactly. I mean, to contrast that as well, Yagao's stats aren't very influential as to what kind of a player he is. You'll see that a lot of his performances there aren't very high in the rankings, but the thing with Yagao is those intangibles. It's not that his stats are amazing, it's that his team fighting, it's that his cohesion and his synergy with all of JD is incredible.
It is. I mean, he's got to show his prowess on a couple of his comfortable picks. Azir coming back in for him. We've seen what his Zoe can do, and even his LeBlanc looking fantastic for JD. We always look at him as being the man who sets up his team for success, but when he gets these signature picks, he can be the main carry as well.
And when you think of Yagao, you think of Zoe. That's always the way that it's been now. He has got the OG Azir throwback from earlier that he's been able to bring back, but at the same time, he's also got counters to his own champion pool, which is something that makes him so scary to deal with. Like, he's got the Zoe, he's got the Yasuo to counter the Zoe, got puppets going on behind me right now. Why not? But he's also got the LeBlanc, which he can use to counter the Yasuo, counter the Zoe. So as far as I'm concerned, he's actually a very well-rounded mid laner in a specific style. And if you look for anyone to take on Rookie and give it his best shot and maybe be able to take it to him, I would say it's Yagao. I'm getting so distracted by the big dog.
Yeah, it's a bit inappropriate of a zoom in for that puppet, but let's focus on this match. You're right. He is the whole package for the side of JD right now. It's crucial to their success. We often attribute it to the synergy between him and Clit as well. They work very well as a duo. Same for Invictus Gaming. Ning is a crucial piece of the puzzle because all of their lanes are so aggressive. Ning has to make sure he can facilitate the aggression coming out from their lanes.
I mean, absolutely. If JD Gaming are known as an early game team, because they always have been, they've actually slowed down. IG are the early game team. So relatively speaking, I actually say Rookie and Ning, very influential in this game, because if Clit and Yagao get rolling, then JD can play whatever style they want. They can succeed doing exactly that, and they look unstoppable when they get a lead through that early game, through the mid and jungle.
And one thing we always talk about when we look at Invictus Gaming is the top side of the map for them, because during a Spring Split, it was a big problem when they lost the Shy. We've always said that Duke is not the problem for the team, but he hasn't been the solution for Spring Split. Summer Split, they've been playing with They've been playing with Duke a lot more.
Yeah.
The Shy has taken a back seat. He's substituted in a couple of times, but hasn't been the main starter for the side of Invictus Gaming.
The Shy only really came back from Rift Rivals, so we haven't seen him for a long time. Now, remember that the Shy, if you don't watch a lot of the LPL, he got injured, a wrist injury, he disappeared. And a lot of people will come into that, and IG took RNG to 5 games in the playoffs. RNG eventually bested them. RNG went to MSI, they won the tournament. Everyone there is like, you know, a big what if? What could have happened if the Shy was playing? Could they have beaten RNG? Could they have actually won MSI? And we don't know, we'll never know. But what we do know now is that the Shy has returned. He has returned mostly to form. It's very hard to say definitively just yet. But he's fighting with Duke. And Duke's in a position actually to succeed. And I think current Duke, and we said this last week, I actually thought that current Duke might have been better than the Shy last week. But the Shy came in, proved everyone wrong, proved that he's got the capabilities to be the best, and cemented his place.
One of the analogies we had for one of the reasons we had for that, for Invictus Gaming, especially last split, was how aggressive bottom lane and mid lane plays, right? Ning has to facilitate this aggression. The Shy does the same thing. So when all 3 lanes are playing aggressive and you've got a jungler who can facilitate that very well, they're firing on all cylinders. As soon as you take away one piece of that puzzle, putting in Duke over the Shy, that's one lane that's less aggressive. Means there's an opportunity to counter the aggression in the other lanes. Force Ning into the bottom side of the map, then punish Rookie. Force Ning into the mid lane, then punish JackeyLove in the bottom lane. But it seems like over this split, as well as the off-season during MSI, and throughout Rift Rivals, they've adapted a lot better with Duke in their roster.
And Duke's also been playing the carries. It's not that the champion pool is vastly different between the Shy and Duke. It's that the one intangible that is always there when the Shy plays over Duke is that you have to ban things away from him. Usually if the Shy starts, you ban in the cannon, you ban in the Gnar, you know, you have these pocket things.
Taken away a lot.
Things that must be removed from him, where suddenly Duke, you get better bans, you get a better draft, and you feel better against them.
It's the same fight for JD though. Zoom, cleared, Yakao, Loken, as well as Luma will be starting today's match.
And you cannot discredit the rest of the team flanking Yagao. They are superstars in their own right as of this split, and their opponents Invictus Gaming. It will be Duke starting there in the top lane, Ning in the jungle, Rookie mid with Jackie Love and Baolan rounding out the bottom.
So the owner has had his 2-game wonders, picked up 100% win rate. He's going to be pretty happy with that, but now it's all business for Invictus Gaming. A win here against JD would secure them as the first place team from their conference.
And you'll see that whilst we saw Yagao's stats before and they weren't flattering, the team stats from JD Gaming are still pretty solid. Of course, goal difference at 15 minutes, that's usually the key number here for IG is 15 minutes in the game. If they've got the leads, they pretty much snowballed the game out. But JD have proven that they can keep up. They're not getting the champion kill levels, but they are winning team fights, they're controlling the map, and they are utilizing their champions and their playstyle very effectively.
One statistic that did surprise me there is Invictus Gaming winning the most team fights out of any team in the LPL, because this is where we've historically looked at Invictus Gaming and said that's their weakness. Team fighting is where they're the weakest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, IG have always been the type of team that, like, in spring, we should speak towards more than anything else, where you would look at them and say, we don't know if they can team fight, because they haven't needed to ever team fight, simply because they win lanes. Ning just accelerates the winning of lanes, and the game's over, but then they bring in Duke. And I think that's the one thing that Duke has provided to them where they otherwise didn't have with the Shy. It's that IG have become a better team fighting team, and that they've actually been able to play better in the 5v5 sense. So if they can integrate the Shy into the Duke's current style, then I think IG will be the best team in the world. But that is a hard thing to say and an even harder thing to do because of how conflicting Duke and the Shy can be.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how well they do with the Shy, especially if Invictus Gaming can take it all the way to an international event like the World Championship, because we've seen how aggressive they can be in the LPL. Then unfortunately during Spring Split, the Shy had that wrist injury and couldn't play during the playoffs itself, where they still almost took it to RNG, the current MSI champions. Yep. We looked very close in that best of 5 series, went all the way to 5 games. If it was a different day, a lot of times we said that IG could have won 4 of those matches, potentially against RNG. It was very close in a lot of those games, and that was with Duke. So I'm really curious, not only if they can use the Shy to adapt to Duke's playstyle, or what if the Shy just plays the way he's always been, super aggressive, and the rest of IG do the exact same thing and dominate the competition from the get-go of their matches.
It's always a what if in this case, however, because Duke is going to be the starter today against JD Gaming, and to me that actually does pay some homage to Duke and his current performance, because I do think that Duke is currently having a very good season for himself, playing out of his mind currently and taking down some of the best in that top lane. And it's not going to be an easy feat to take down Zoom, who has been having a very good split of his own accord. And he is a top lane player that does love himself some solo kills. So when you really put that into context here, I think the top lane will have a lot of action. I think mid lane is definitely still our superstars and the pivot point of the map, but that top half of the map is going to be incredibly powerful as they go against each other aggressively and the junglers get influenced.
So a few weeks ago, Clement said that JD are the best team in the LPL. And since then, they've dropped 2 games in total after cross-conference, or during cross-conference. I believe they lost 1, then dropped 1 coming out of it. Still looking like one of the best teams. And if things go well during playoffs, if the stars align, this could very well be our finals. It could be Invictus Gaming taking on JD. What is it that has made Jingdong so good? Because Spring Split, they were middle of the pack. They barely scraped into playoffs. Coming into Summer Split, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Well, they added Loken to the mix towards the later half of that Spring Split and started to look really good. And you would feel like from watching that it was just a matter of time until JD found their ceiling. And we had no idea what the ceiling of JD Gaming looked like. But the short answer is that their teamwork, their cohesion as a 5v5, and their overall team play has been massively improved and is a major part of why they are such a dominant team.
Well, already a lot of respect being thrown out by JD in the first pick of ban phase. Akali being banned out against Rookie, Rise being taken away, and Braum being banned out against Baolan. Some very targeted bans coming the way of JD. Side of IG, they're going to be pretty relieved with Akali being taken away. They don't have to ban it on the red side this time around. Rakan and Camille, the 2 bans that come out to start the match.
And I was curious to see if it would just become a red side staple alongside the Aatrox, but what's curious is Aatrox was a ban, whilst the Akali was on blue side. So JD, no hesitation, they will pick that one up. Now, I would expect that it actually goes to Yagal, and I question if he can play the pick firstly, because we don't get a chance to ever see it. I assume he can. And if he can, Rookie's definitely got something cooking up.
Has to be. There's no reason to give over that pick, but they do. They will get their priority pick of Tahm Kench. This is one that's, we know, Baolan favors in this supportive position.
Yeah, maybe a Talia even to go with it. Kindred ban.
Yeah, taking it away from Clid.
I would expect to see the Talia here. Now, if I was JD Gaming and I got the Talia, then that Aatrox is very successful going into the mid lane already by draft standards, so that's what I'd be looking at here. We'll see where they go, however, because remember that Ning's got his big Olaf. He's got his big counter picks available, and he may be very comfortable giving over whatever you want to JD Gaming and just countering it.
Still curious to see how they work with this Aatrox picks coming out from JD. Being locked in as the first pick, Varus has been picked up for the side of Invictus Gaming as the AD carry of choice. That's a very early lock-in of Misfortune for Logan.
Yeah, it's early, but he does know what his lane matchup will be, so he knows that into the Varus and the Tahm Kench, he wants to go for the Misfortune. Now, Varus, I would expect, may even see that and consider going for lethality, but not an easy time to go against the Misfortune as a Varus if you match her in auto-attack range, where the lethality can outrange her a little bit, and that may be the advantage you look towards, but even then, the thing the Misfortune provides that a Varus doesn't is team fighting strengths, because they'll both be lethality, so... Caught between a rock and a hard place, I would say, is Jackie Love through the Misfortune pick, as more aggression follows with it.
Alistar gets locked in as the supportive choice from the side of JD. Then we're going to get that Jace lock in for Invictus Gaming. That's not going to be the Shy's pick because he's not playing today. But a very strong pick for Invictus Gaming. Should be Rookie's champion heading into the mid lane.
Yeah, now Duke can play it, so I would never discredit that possibility, but Rookie has got the Jace, has got the capabilities of playing it to a very high level, and it may be something that we do see from him. We'll have to see what happens, however, as IG, they are on red side, and red side Rookie's a name for a reason, as he always has a counter pick regardless of what you lock in.
Olaf being banned out, Trundle being taken away by Invictus Gaming. So jungle bans are the name of the game during the second ban phase. Talia has well been taken away by IG. Clid and Ning will be forced into some different champions going into the first set.
Bunch of junglers to be seen on the second ban phase, and a couple actually through that first ban phase as well. So the rivers are running very dry as junglers go. With a fourth jungle ban to be focused, and IG getting the first pick here. JD better have some deep pockets available for Clid. Now the one that always sticks out like a sore thumb to me is Lee Sin. I have a feeling that that may be something he considers, given that they've got an Alistar and an Aatrox already locked in, and they're pretty burly men already.
Potentially, but we do start with Jarvan being locked in as the jungle pick of choice for Ning. Rusty, you're a prophet at the moment because they're hovering over that Lee Sin pick.
Bro, it's just Clid.
And there we go, locked in for Clid in the jungle. Java was locked in from Invictus Gaming, not the first time they've run with this pick during the season. Was quite well known when they had the big Wombo combo with Kennen in the top lane.
But more importantly, Clid's a Lee Sin god. There are
He
very
is.
few people in the LPL that will pick up this Lee Sin and you get an extra vote of confidence from. Flawless is one of those players that had a very good Lee Sin. Clid is the other. And those two, even when he's off meta, we're finding opportunities to pick this champion. That's the reason we bring it up, and that's a big part of why they're able to lock that in. It's confident, it's comfortable, and it's exactly what Clid wants to be with all these junglers banned. And he's against the Jarvan, so he's in a matchup he can take them on, and his opposing side have got all squishies. And Lee Sin could have a field day.
He could have a field day, so let's see what they can do with that pick. LeBlanc even being picked up by Yagao in the mid lane for JD. Syndra for Rookie, Jace in the top lane. This is going to be a bloody matchup. Even Zoom going for the Aatrox pick. Not in the mid lane for Yagao.
No, so that's the thing. They reveal their hand early here, JD. They didn't get the counter in mid. They knew that Rookie would. So they picked themselves a LeBlanc opposed to the Aatrox in mid. Could very well have gone towards either lane, that Aatrox pick. However, that does give the Syndra to Rookie. And if ever there was a pick that Rookie wants to get himself, Syndra is one of those. Right there in his wheelhouse, one of his most played, one of his best champions. And he has a unique mastery on this pick. Not a lot of mid laners go towards Syndra. When Rookie picks it, you know he means business.
He does. Let's see what Rookie can do with this pick, because, I mean, it's just one of his signature champions. Assassin against Assassin in the mid lane. You've got Jace in the top lane against Aatrox as well. Duke gonna try and take it to Zoom top side of the map. Aggressive junglers, Lee Sin against Jarvan. I don't think we could have asked for more, Rusty, going into the first game.
I really don't think we could have, honestly. I mean, JD and IG, they're an early game aggressive team between the both of them. JD have slowed down recently, but you know they could very easily go back to their old roots and have that level 2 all-in style. So to see Clid pick up that Lee Sin, very much indicative of a flavor hit here, perhaps changing from the side of JD Gaming, where Invictus Gaming, I mean, you think about their team composition, you think about their team style, they are known as the win lane, win game composition.
Yes, they are.
And the win lane, win game team. And that's exactly what we're going to see from them potentially here, with aggression across the board.
Both teams going to try and fight fire with fire here. JD historically haven't been too good during the mid game, but they've cleaned it up recently. And early game is where these two teams have always shined. It's getting onto the rift, that's where the action will take place. Early game compositions, lots of damage from both squads. No tanks to be seen besides the supports. It's going to be a bloody festival. And where better than to have it at the LPL. Let's get onto the rift for game 1 of this best of 3 series. Of course, JD's manager is here, Rusty. LGD's not here, stop it.
Yep, the JD manager is a very loud man. He does love his yelling. Of course, IG, it is IG day here in the LPL. We've got IG casters, we've got IG players, we have IG arenas with puppets and full mascots that I saw outside as well. They're all here in support of the organization this time as IG take on JD in a battle of first versus second here in Shanghai.
It's a good day for them as well, because if Invictus Gaming can pick up the win, on their Fan Appreciation Day, that would be them taking the first spot, securing themselves a top 4 finish in the summer split of the LPL, and getting the much deserved semi-final bye. JD are still trying to hold on to it. Already though, Rusty, got a couple of plat players coming in for the side of Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, let's talk about the runes first, because they'll be on here for a limited time only. Jackie Love has committed himself to the on-hit Varus build.
Yep,
if you look at his opponents, there is a lot of in-your-face melee type bruisers, so it's okay to go for that choice. I did say perhaps the lethality, but his choice is not necessarily just for the laning strength itself. Also, it provides a lot against an Alistar. It's also the team fighting capabilities.
Yeah, you still can go towards the likes of Comet. So you can still go towards the likes of lethality even with the lethal tempo.
Very rarely will you see that, however.
Misfortune is known to be a good matchup into Varus, at least in the laning phase. You can match the poke. Corrupting Potion also being picked up by Loken in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's the thing here, right? Loken's committed himself towards the Corrupting Potion. So if he had a Doran's Blade, he'd be much more aggressive early on. But choosing to go towards the Corrupting Potion, more sustain, including the mana sustain that you find yourself there with. So interesting changes and variations here in the starting items from JD. Of course, a lot of people are going Corrupting Potions. This Rookie
getting locked down, good damage. Ning's gonna jump through, but Yagao fakes him out. Clint's gonna be able to pick up first blood. What a play from JD in the mid lane.
Yeah, very good stuff from JD. They were the ones starting the play first, so they're also the ones who pick up that kill. Nice try, Ning, but you're at risk now.
Taking some damage, but sidesteps the chain. Clid's going to follow through, gets a good slowdown, has a shield as well. Ning going to try and fight this one through. Clid wants to try and chase him down, but very low, jumping from Ning. They still get the kill. 2-0 to JD.
And the triumph clutch there from Clid, very well navigated. They know the exact cooldown timings of that Jarvan flag drag. They work their way around him. They play Ning for the fool, and they try and make him think he's got those kills. And boy, did Ning feel that way. He is absolutely ruined.
As much as we can say, you know, talent for talent, yes, Rookie, best mid laner in the LPL. You said probably best mid laner in the world. Ning as a jungler, probably big, but look at this. Big fight, top lane, Zoom, getting good damage on towards Duke. But when it comes to a duo, Clid and Yakao just stand out on the LPL, and they showed why right there.
They did it very early into the game as well. Not surprising that Lee Sin can get early game ganks off. Top lane also winning of its own accord, such is the way of Aatrox. So through all of that, Clid getting topside control does mean that he finds opportunities to get those ganks off. Now you'll see him move towards top lane. He's venturing up. There's a chance they get this.
Yeah, looking for the gank. Duke forced to flash away. Damage comes out as well from him, but burns the summoner spell into top lane.
I've always found from watching JD Gaming play that one of their biggest strengths, nice little cancel, is their ability to play around Clid. You know, when a jungler ganks, often people will say, I'll bait, and it's just that simple. You kind of let the lanes go. JD have always found this very unique and intangible style that's so hard to explain. They enable Clid better than other teams seem to enable their own respective junglers when those ganks come across. Rookie is struggling here. He's got no mana.
He's up in CS against Yagao, but that kill's going to nullify that. A little bit of extra items for LeBlanc as well, and with that double buff, it's just so difficult for Syndra to get anywhere close.
Yeah, a lot of this will be about getting a better recall off here for Rookie. Of course, having the Dark Seal with Corrupting Potions does give some mana back, but you don't want to pop that for just mana. It doesn't give an efficient amount, really, of mana return. You wait until you lose some health, perhaps use all of it at the same time. He's trading okay, but he's going to run out of mana pretty much as the wave crashes to the turret. So for Rookie, not in a very good position. And what this really means is that, whilst Rookie, he'll be okay, he won't die, Clid's unlocked because Yagao has control.
It's great for Clid to be unlocked. Remember, Yagao, yes, he can be the carry player, and he has been a lot recently for JD, but he used to excel in setting up his team, and Clid is going to be one of those players that he frequently sets up. This Aatrox pick has been quite nasty in the top lane for JD. Duke has been locked underneath his turret as a ranged mashup into a melee match. I'm very surprised still that Invictus Gaming let Aatrox go through.
It's always going to be a surprise when you see it. Usually that indicates that either they've been playing very well against it in scrims, or they have a strategy to counteract it. And I do think that Jace is a part of that strategy. Aatrox did receive some changes, some touch-ups to make him better in the late game, and less strong in the early game, but he's still powerful.
You can see how as soon as the gates get thrown down by Duke, he's able to get away from that zone that Zoom is able to throw down, trying to pull him back.
Zoom was ready to biff though.
Yeah, he was. I mean,
he
he
had
had
his ultimate used.
He had Clid waiting for so long, had the ultimate used nice and early to make sure that if he did fall underneath that turret, go invulnerable.
That was a super early use of the ultimate, and now that's going to come back to potentially hurt him in just his laning phase. So Clid being up there, trying to get those ganks off, respectable, does give control of the jungle. Now pushing towards the second spawn of this red buff. He's even got a level advantage over Ning as the smites go.
But doesn't decide to continue to contest for this red buff. So far, Invictus Gaming, they're put on the back foot. I think the person who's had the worst end of this has been Nick. He's been a level behind Clid. He's on Jarvan. That's a jungle champion that if you fall behind, it's going to be quite difficult to find a way back into the match. Rookie's been holding on in the mid lane. I mean, Yagao definitely has the edge, but Rookie's been okay.
Oh, again, Rookie's going to be perfectly fine in that middle lane. It's more that, like you mentioned it already, Ning is the one who really feels the pain of it. But he feels the pain because mid lane has control. And mid lane has control because they won the 2v2, and Rookie has to run out of mana just to control the minions. So you can already see it on your screen right now. Rookie has 0 mana to his name, he has to recall. He's not getting blue buff because JD pressured IG at the red. So they know exactly where Ning is. And they're able to go give their blue to Yagao, and he now has control of mid. So it's these little details that, whilst they're not really spilling over into major leads just yet, they could be very easily if JD find that little extra success on a play.
You were right as well, by the way. There's plenty of thumbs up coming through. In the sense that we'll see on-hit attack speed, Varus being picked up. Vamp Scepter probably means that's a Bilgewater Cutlass in the making, Blade the Roaring King later on. Loken has gone for 3 points in Make It Rain, the E ability of Misfortune.
Yeah.
Going towards lethality nice and early.
Most Misfortunes we've seen are maxing E over W over Q now, so you're not even touching the Q at all.
That one's a little bit surprising. With the lethality build, 2 lethality items into Black Cleaver does give you 40% cooldown reduction. That Q, the cooldown is low enough at that point to proc Sheen every single time. But
it's proc Sheen.
Yeah, if you were to pick up a Trinity Force of Misfortune, you could proc Sheen every single time your Q is up.
You too could proc an item that no one gets on Misfortune.
Hey.
With the low price of 40% CDR.
Sometimes I like to pick it up. This is why I'm stuck in plat. Teleports towards the top side of Atlas. JD's been able to push a few minions in. Good clear coming out from Duke.
Great damage on the Clid.
It'll be a cancelled teleport though. That was Baolan swapping out for teleport to try and make the fake towards top side of the map. But Invictus Gaming's top lane turret has taken quite a beating.
I like that a lot. Now, what does have me wondering is why Baolan's heal is suddenly on cooldown, and I wonder if that was the unsealed spellbook or if he misclicked it after he cancelled the teleport.
I feel like there was a little bit of a misclick there.
But we'll see. It does actually seem like it's a lower cooldown than the heal itself, just based off watching the Grey move. Nonetheless, IG will be fine in this bottom lane. Of course, we get to see. I assume those are patch notes.
Yeah, these were the changes in 8.13. I don't remember exactly what they are, and I can't read this very well.
Either way, what we know is that the changes gave him a bit more late game. Yeah, okay, so it's ban rate.
After 8.13, not the patch notes, after 8.13, there were 185 games played. He was banned in 183. So 99% ban rate of Aatrox.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. That pick is way too strong. Rift Rivals proved it already, and that was before the hotfix.
Yeah, where he got stronger.
Yeah, Reddit. It's Reddit's fault. Reddit, what was it? They were calling him worse Riven. Turns out.
Okay, to be fair, he is kind of worse Riven in that he's clunky. And Riven feels better, but he's better Riven.
I don't know.
He's better.
I just feel like Aatrox got such a big sword, right? That it's almost like a hammer. You've got to throw it down. Whereas Riven's got like this tiny broken sword. She can dash in with a bit of finesse. You know, that's why he feels clunky, because he is clunky.
So,
smacks you with big damage.
So, Riven feels better. So he is bad Riven.
No, he is strong Riven.
Okay.
Riven is fast Riven.
Sure thing, Fish. Thank you for proving my point.
I proved my point. You're wrong.
Back into this one though.
Yes,
we have
gaming
some,
is JD.
We've got some item spikes actually coming across from IG. Jackie Love, the one that sticks out to me, alongside Loken. So both AD carries having first items completed. Now, if ever there was a time to start making moves towards objectives, you would say those first items on ADs are a great time to do so. However, a lot of these team styles, IG will be the first one that I'd want to highlight, like winning their lanes. They like extending that laning phase. Ning comes to lanes more often than laners go to jungle. Top's going at it.
Good damage against Duke. Locks him back as well. Zoom comboing that quite well. Forces the flash out of Duke once again. And if this is something to deal with Aatrox in the top lane, I don't quite see what Duke's meant to do so far.
But first of all, your range, so that helps a lot with trying to navigate around the lane. I feel like, you know, best case scenario would be a cannon for extra range and CC, but I think the Jace pick isn't strictly for, you know, handling the laning phase from level 1 to 9. Some Jaces, I think most of them now actually go towards Blade of the Ruined King as a second or third item of choice. That may be the direction he goes, and once that's completed, he has got a lot of sustain. Jace also scales incredibly well in the side lane split push if he goes Blade build, when Aatrox, not as much.
Plenty of aggressions though, aggressions. Plenty of aggressive champions picked up by both sides, means we should have a very aggressive match. But besides the mid lane play that we saw earlier,
It's running very low.
it's been very, very slow so far. JD will be able to push towards the top lane turret first.
Teleports in from Duke. They want to kill him at the very least for this.
Trying to force. Top lane turret's not going to fall. Ning actually disengages. The rest of JD collapse in time. So Zoom's going to be collapsed upon by Duke. Takes some damage. Just knocked back slightly, but they save the turret at the cost of a teleport.
Now they do it, yeah, you're right, they teleport in. Now Clid being there with Yagao is something that deters a lot of that attempted pick potentially for IG. Ning being in the area, having the flash, having the ability to go forwards. Unfortunately for him in the Aatrox versus Jarvan interactions, there's a lot of ways out of that ultimate. So they're not able to lock him down, not successfully enough between a Jarvan and a Jace. Anyway, I have to call it a day because Clid was hovering around, doing what he does best. Hovering around top lane.
He's still top side of the map as well. He's going to try and see if he can get something done against Duke here. Zoom going to try and jump in. Flash forward, doesn't get the knock up. Knocked back by Duke, trying to run away from this one underneath the turret. Taking good damage. Duke going to try and get out of this, but pulled back. Clid knocks him into the wall as well. Gets the execute damage, and Zoom gets a kill in the top lane.
God, and easy as you'd like from Zoom and Clid just casually going in. Ning, he's
Full
here.
combo, tries to get both of them locked down in the arena. Stopwatch being used, but Yagao is here as well. Alley-oop to the LeBlanc. Rookie is now stuck underneath this turret. Zoom is going to fall, so picks up one kill. Yagao trying to keep him here. Good damage. Double buff for this LeBlanc. Rookie trying to juke this one out. Turret is very low as well. Yagao
Minions in about 10 seconds.
just wants to keep him here. Dashes away from the turret range. Throws out the chains. Misses that. Goes back towards his coin. Takes a few turret shots and mis-executed. Coming after Yagao. He's still trying to chase. Flash forward. Gets the kill into Rookie.
And that was just brain games between Yagao and Rookie. They both knew exactly what the next step would be, and they were trying to outthink each other one step at a time. Yagao, in the end, he had the health, he had the resources, and he was able to lock down the kill. But Rookie also was able to take two with him. Whilst it didn't feel like it, and he does go down. However, the turret falls. JD, they still come out well on top.
They do. They're about 2,000 gold ahead of Invictus Gaming just 15 minutes into this match. And you were right, Rusty. All the focus of this early game has been on that top side of the map. Here was Duke again trying to escape from Zoom, but man, they just collapsed onto him too well.
This is the kind of dive that you should never see in League of Legends, in my opinion, anyway. But Zoom and Clid, they'll get the kill on the Duke. And Ning, he comes in, he plays this very well. He gets the damage off before the stopwatch of Clid as well, through all the CC he has there. Clid survives for quite a while, but that involves Rookie flashing forwards to kill him. So remember, Rookie, no flash, no ultimate, no ignite from getting those 2 kills. And he navigates this as best as he can to survive, recognizes the minions were pushing. We won't get to see the end result, but know that Yagao is 3-0-1 on this LeBlanc with the Ludens completed, so he's a major benefactor.
Yeah, Yagao made a few misplays there, but would still be very happy with the performance coming in from that last fight. Ning's going to try and do what he can now to see if he can make moves towards the mid lane.
Rookie's 11.
Rookie is level 11.
You could have taken some honey fruit there. It's a bit greedy from Ning.
Nah, Ning wants it all.
Rookie
Just want to
being,
keep Rookie hidden.
Rookie being 11, having 2 flat penetration items as well, fully enable him for killing squishy champions. Then you take a second to look at JD's composition, and a lot of them are squishy champions.
Everyone except for Alistar. You'll have the pseudo-tankiness of Lee Sin as well as Aatrox, and Aatrox with his invulnerability will help out.
Bellstar's also very fragile without the ultimate on this early as well, so for what it's worth, I think Rookie's actually in a pretty comfortable position in the middle lane. We mentioned, you know, just how strong Yagao is. It's very much comparable, and these mid laners may be duking it out in the mid game to determine which team wins, which is exactly what we want.
Which is why I got a little bit surprised with the build that Jackie loves going for. If you've got a full squishy team on the side of JD and you go for lethality, the poke that's going to come out from Jason Varus is insane, but he's gone towards on-hit attacks. But he's got to be careful during these fights.
Great collapse.
If anyone looks at him the wrong way, they're going to fall. Now, good charge coming out from Jelly. He's able to get that turret down in the mid lane. So IG forcing the back foot once again, and the only outer turret they've got left remaining is in that bottom lane.
And you can see JD Gaming work. Now they're fighting in the bottom lane.
Exhaust used. Lumao trying to lead this fight. Ultimate thrown out by Misfortune. Loken trying to force him away. Baolan taking quite a bit of damage. The rotations are going to come out. Flash away from Baolan nice and early. Ultimate to get him away. And he takes Jackie Love with him.
Well done from Baolan to survive and to get Jackie Love out with him. That dive was 100% going to happen if they were there. The turret is eventually going to go down, maybe.
Ning with a big Cataclysm locks down 3. Clip will be able to pick up that kill. Now it's going to be IG still looking for this fight. Aatrox, good damage. Yagao has the flank, dashes in, gets the turret, and the follow-up comes out from the rest of the team. Trying to lock them down. Clip forced away. Good lockdown from Baolan, and Jackie Love gets that kill. IG do fight back, but they've already lost all of their outer turrets with that play. Sacrificial Lamb as Lumao jumps in, just going to die. Double kill picked up by Jackie Love.
Someone has to die. The Ocean Dragon's also there for IG if they wish, but it's a very difficult thing for them to achieve when they could be pushing lanes and getting turrets down instead. IG, they're able to bite back. JD are still the ones pushing forwards, though. They're still the ones getting the turret and controlling the map. I think that was just a lot of an overreach from Clid, seeing red after the turret was taken down and perhaps seeing an opportunity.
We'll get to look at that again because this was such a good macro play coming out from JD. Nice play from Baolan to get away.
It was sick, but
they were a little bit aggressive, it seems.
Yeah, so Ning actually tries to go for the engage here, and Clid just says thank you for the alley-oop and kicks him out and takes him down. So that's his free escape route here. You'll see that from the... Actually, that was a very weird interaction. I'm really confused now, and I'm not sure what did it. Either way, Yagao comes in, he'll secure the turret. Clid tries to follow the Q at the same time, and then ward hop to safety. But by using all of those resources to go in and out was well overextended, and perhaps he just thought that Yagao would commit a bit harder than he did, where he was actually just juking his way in and out.
No pun intended. Duke in this match, he's picked up his Yomu's Ghost Blade, going towards the Black Cleaver next, it seems. Just can't get over how much damage these two teams are packing going into this match alone. I'm very impressed by JD though. JD have played this game solid from start to 20 minutes into this match. I mean, a couple of mistakes here and there during these skirmishes.
I mean, the only real mistake is bottom lane. that stands out to you, right? When you really think about what JD have been doing in this game so far, they unlock top lane, that's their winning lane. They bring top lane mid with Herald, which is a great way to get the turret, and they do. And then they bring all of that towards bottom lane and break the turret down there. You cannot fault JD for making any kind of incorrect decision regarding that, besides that they maybe overstay a little bit here and there, besides that they may be a little bit too aggressive here and there.
Right. Ming's actually looking for a gank to the mid lane. Loken and Lumao are both here. No flash available for Misfortune, so it's a very immobile champion at the moment. Lumao does have his ultimate available on Alistar, so we can take a beating for a short period of time, and Rookie is slowly looking for these flanks. They're trying to clear out these wards. Doesn't get stunned. Good ward hub gets him back to safety.
Clid's too clean, bro. Clid's Lee Sin is one of the cleanest Lees you will see in League of Legends, and the reason I even say that is I think back to his 50-minute fights. And if you remember Meteos at Worlds in 2016, that's the kind of thing Clid is able to do on the regular. He makes other Lee Sins look quite bad in comparison to himself.
Then again, it's the LPL, so I might just be numb to Lee Sin plays.
So many.
We had OMG, and it seemed like for a long time, to be an OMG jungler, you had to be able to play Lee Sin and only Lee Sin. Then we had Flawless go on his crazy run for Rogue Warriors last split.
Yeah, like the 6 games in a row before it became perma-banned from him.
Yeah. He only dropped the game very late into the spring split as well on Lee Sin.
Get a chance to play it for a lot of that time.
Yes,
Clid was also one of the other Lee Sins during that period.
Yes, he was. Very strong player, and we've always had very strong Lee Sin players in the LPL. In fact, Lid's gone towards a BF sword, so Guardian Angel being picked up very soon.
Yeah, he's accelerating his build for being able to dive, continuing to be able to team fight. Duke.
Ooh, caught out here, tries to get damage on towards Clid, knocked back, forced to flash away. That's a stun coming out. Loken getting a big shield, but he jumps in, gets the kill! The slam dunk for Rookie as well! Lumao is now stuck between 5 members of Invictus Gaming! 3 kills to IG!
And IG make the collapse. They do this on JD with only 3 members there, and they are absolutely punished. Look at the way IG have now positioned themselves through mid, potentially over to the Baron buff as well. I think this is a great opportunity for them to try and, if nothing else, force more picks. Try and get the Aatrox, try and get the LeBlanc. Otherwise, that Baron, it is free.
They're going towards the Baron. Let's see if Invictus Gaming can do it. They're up against an Aatrox and a LeBlanc. No teleport from Lumao, Loken, or Clid, the 3 players that died in that last skirmish. Zoom's looking for it, trying to dive in towards this pit. Wants to get damage down, locked down by Rookie. Going to be able to crawl away from this fight. Yagao jumped in for some damage himself, but Tunnel Lash and Bala eats him up. This will be a supportal combat kill and the shutdown as well. 600 gold to Bala and a Baron buff to Invictus Gaming.
And the securing of the Baron as well. Just as we see that Rookie gets the promotion as well from all the fans. They know that he's starting to pop off. Duke is the one that starts this. Clid's kick very early, gives the escape, and Rookie just flashes and bursts him out. Even hits the stun during that headbutt animation from Lumao. Ning comes in and just knocks that one home. So very well done here from the side of IG. But note, during all of that time, Zoom was bottom, Yagao was mid. Neither of them really able to rotate quickly enough. And so they are just picked apart, JD Gaming, by making a play as 3.
Big play coming out from Invictus Gaming. That pulls the gold in their favor. They caught up to the gold lead that JD previously had. And now they're 2,000 gold ahead with 2 minutes and 45 seconds of Baron buff to work with as well. Mid lane out of turret, not long for this world. IG will be on a mission to try and equalize that turret score, or perhaps even take it a little bit further forward. 2 turrets already in their back pocket. This is going to break open the match, Rusty. They're going to get a nice gold lead from this.
This is great to watch from IG, because the thing you have to remember with Invictus Gaming is usually at 15 minutes in the game, they have a big gold lead. They have a lot of team fights. They have a lot of kills. This time around, it's later into the game when they start to make the same plays. Later enough to get them a Baron buff, to be able to snowball the entire game from that one moment. And this is much more like a refined IG that could go to an international with their win timing. So don't just win lane now, they still win games. Showing
that they can play from behind very well. They can find the opportunities to come back in. It's not like they're against some random team. This is JD. Team that we consider to be one of the top 4 in the summer split. Whoa. Engage coming out from Lumao, looking for the fight. Ultimate from Misfortune, not doing too good. Yagao already forced out of this fight. Zoom gonna get knocked in towards his passive, trying to crawl away. Knocked down as soon as he comes back out. Double kill coming out from Jackulov. 1 arrow, 2 knees being taken down. And IG are pushing for the win, Rusty. Yeah. They're pushing for the win.
They're looking to end the game, but they don't really have the minions to do it. Just one ranged minion. They'll have to back away and look for perhaps another lane. 3 people still alive. Misfortune, no ultimate, however. Clid does have his and the flash.
Ooh!
IG need to not overextend. They need to continue to do this as a team.
Both teams showing how good they are with macro play. IG pushing down bottom lane, immediately rotating towards the mid lane. 1 minute of Baron buff still left remaining as well. 46,000 gold to 40,000 gold.
They grow themselves a massive gold advantage from that Baron power play for certain. The bottom lane inhib going as well. The furthest distance from the next Baron when that does spawn as Blumau goes to engage here. Clid can't get in. Yagao can't do anything because the Syndra ultimate has knocked him down. And all of this felt like an unnecessarily big force from JD Gaming overall, where IG just mapped him out. They knew that if there was any kind of engage coming towards them, they would hand damage out to their opponents.
Yeah, Gal's trying to be a little bit sneaky in the top lane here, though.
Bit too sneaky, one might say.
Oh, that's a ward. Oh, no, they checked every bush except for the bush he was in. Now they get him.
Got him.
Swatted out with a shock blast combo. Duke going to take some damage for this. Yagao tries to lock him down. Good damage there, but Rookie going to chase him through. Throws out another Dark Sphere. Looking for an ultimate. Comes down. Yagao, one more attack will be taken down. Jackie Love takes him down. Misfortune throws out his ultimate, trying to get what they can do. Duke trying to lock down Luma on the flank here. The river is no safe place for JD at the moment. IG barrel through the team once again. They're not even done yet. Clint goes down. 2 kills for Baolan.
And JD know it, but so do IG. They are just too far ahead right now, and nothing can stop this snowball. This steam train from just rolling through JD. They're waiting for a Tom Kench ultimate, I believe.
And there we go.
The game.
Straight in towards the base. Zoom forced to pop his ultimate once again. Forced back towards his fountain. They may have been put down in the early game, but IG strike back, and game 1 goes to Invictus Gaming.
Invictus Gaming down but never out through that first one. Proving once again why they are #1 in their conference standings and why JD sit below them at #2. That first game victory was meant to be something that JD started to snowball in. They had the Aatrox, they had 1 lanes. They even broke the turrets down as a team, and they started to snowball that one out in very typical and very standard JD fashion so far.
Yes, and it's the mid game, Rusty. It's struck again. JD, this is where they were the weakest. 20 minutes into the match is where they lost the gold lead they previously acquired. And although we say, you know, they've cleaned up their play, they've cleaned up how they work around the mid game, that was another sign of their weakness.
And honestly, it was just clean from Jackie Love and Baolan in the bottom
beautiful.
lane. They held the lane fine. Baolan shows his mastery of the TK at certain moments. Rookie, even though there were points where Yagao was controlling him in the lane and he was running out of mana, he was still there and he was still relevant when it came to the most important times in that game. And Ning, whilst he was controlled in the early game, whilst he was bullied and pressured out by his opponent, he was still there to deal the damage in the team fights, and they were always at the right place at the right time.
That was only the first few kills as well. The first 2 kills that Clint and Yagao worked together to pick up against Rookie and Ning. And both of those players knew that they were playing from behind, but they didn't let the lead go further in JD's advantage. They understood they had to play on the back foot, they understood they had to farm up and wait for the right time to strike, which they did. And when they found that time to strike, it was beautiful from Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and knowing full well, of course, that a Jarvan and a Syndra can one-hit someone. It's a risk that JD have to play around, and it's a risk that IG knew that they possessed. So they're able to utilize those champions alone and try and catch people out. The big mistakes that JD started to make after those early game advantages were not committing themselves fully to 5v5 plays, but also not committing themselves to 5v5s when the people who weren't there don't have teleports. So Yagao not being at a fight, coming late towards the bottom lane, that was the first time where IG got kills. The second time at the blue buff, they were 1-3-1ing and the 3 tried to take a fight. So those mistakes are what really cost them in the end.
It was really scrappy coming out from JD. Their strategy looked sound and their macro play was good. They went from top lane to mid to bottom to take all the outer turrets down. Without that bottom lane dive, it would have been very clean from JD Gaming. Then that blue buff fight, it looked like they were trying to get a pick on towards Duke. Missed executions coming out from people like Clid. Just bought so much time, and Rookie just showing how strong of a mid laner he is. Flashing forward, making the outplay 1-on-3 during that time. Able to get the enough damage onto Misfortune to eventually allow Ning to pick up the kill.
You know, a lot of players, when they're on Syndra, will not use their ultimate unless they can kill someone. They'll just Q them multiple times, you know, they'll stack it up. But Rookie is one of those players that understands what the champion can provide. And in this case, he throws the R, throws a Q, and presses E to stun them all at the same moment. So whilst he doesn't kill someone, if you know your team's collapsing and you can get the stuns off, that's just as valuable. The damage and the stuns. And you'll see this for the rest of the game as well from Rookie. is in the bottom lane. Yagao tries to go in, tries to kill someone. He knows that he can't get the kill, but he's going to try. So Rookie just ults him, and even if he doesn't get it, he's still in the fight. Yagao is not. So that's a win, regardless.
Here was the fight at the bottom side map. This is where Lumao trying to make that play. Jakilov caught. Balan saves him.
Yeah, look at Yagao's health bar as well. As Zoom tries to go forwards, Lumao tries to go forwards, and this engage, we said it during the game as well, that was a big force. That was the kind of force where JD had recognized the state of the game and they did not want to go down quietly. They chose to engage in the least opportune moment, simply because an Alistar had an engage. I mean, Lee Sin was somewhere around like 500 gold at most from his Guardian Angel being completed. That's an engage tool that they could have had if they just waited and conceded an inhib and bought time. But JD chose, they said this game is over if we don't win a fight right now. They took the engage.
ING showing what they can do with a lead too, right? So before that big play that got them back at blue buff, they were 2,000 gold behind, 3,000 gold behind. After the play, they were 2,000 gold up, so a big 5,000 gold swing.
Yeah.
But as soon as they picked up Baron, all the outer turrets on the IG side of the map were up. There was still only a 2,000 gold lead to ING, which is not too much 22 minutes into the match, but they still showed they can take down all the outer turrets except for top lane, push through to win an inhibitor, and win a team fight just with that small lead.
And I think a significant amount of this will be assessed in the draft stage. So a lot of these teams, you know, they'll go backstage. IG, they built themselves the win lane, win game style of composition. You know, play the Jace in the top lane, control the lane, play the Syndra in mid, bully out your opponents, play a Varus in bottom. And what JD did in response to that style of draft is they said, anything you can do, I can do better. And they picked something that beats the Varus in lane. They picked something that can control the Jace, and they put the Aatrox, they chose to put it in the top lane. And then they picked the LeBlanc in mid lane for the Lee Sin LeBlanc 2v2. Ganked it early, made that a winning lane. But eventually that composition, it's not the most conventional JD style of composition, was preyed upon by IG, who just scaled up with what they were comfortable on.
And then jungler from the side of Invictus Gaming, Ning, picks up MVP for game 1 of this best of 3. Ning was shut down very early on by Clit as well as Yagao, but came back, was a good assist to the team and allowed a setup Rookie as well as Duke for success.
He was a resilient man. The mental headspace was very strong from him, and Ning overall did very well. Rookie was actually even able to set him up and trusted that Ning would hit them home, so did do a lot of damage, a lot of relevant damage, whilst 10.3% isn't the percentage that you'd be after as a carry. The 10 that he did was very impactful.
It was. Ning was able to help his team by picking up MVP as well as the victory against JD in game 1. We're going to a break, but we still have more matches to come, so don't go anywhere.
这个夏天 ，IG 有太多东西需要证明，请大家拭目以待。